So last video for this week, and then we're going to see the other elements next week, as well as the nuke part. So first, I just want to look at quickly the caches we just saved. Okay. So here we have. Let me just bring the grid in. A bunch of caches. Okay, for the dust. Okay, so and if I just merge them quickly together. And just get this out. So this is the kind of what we get straight just by merging them. Then again, we can just move them a little bit around, scale them, rotate, apply some rotations. To really get the look we're after, duplicate them, time shift a little bit, Again, this is something we will see later on. Okay, so that was just to have a quick look at it. So let me just go back and get rid of this for now. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna grab my dust emitter and my first sim here. Okay, and I'm just gonna copy paste because I don't want to have to do it all over again, because most of it is going to be the same in there. Just waiting it to paste. Okay. Copy everything, so just delete these. And now I'm going to rename this to shockwave. Wave emitter. I'm gonna have only one layer, but I'm gonna rename them straight properly, just in case I would decide later to add extra layers of it, So I would just have to copy paste them, and I'm gonna have the proper namings already to get it to work, and I wouldn't have to go back in there and change any parameters because we have that up-digit expression. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get rid of all this. Don't need all that. And shockwave 1. I'm gonna get rid of my sphere, and I'm gonna use a torus this time. Okay, let's look at this. So here we go. So we have here a default torus. Okay, so I'm just gonna scale it down a little bit. Oops, that was too much, 0.4. And just add a bunch of rows and columns to have more details, okay? So now I'm gonna use my facet for my normals, okay? I'm gonna transform, I'm gonna scale it down by half on Y. Get my mountains up here, it's maybe a bit too high. Okay, so I'm keeping a pretty high frequency here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this. So just look at what that is. Maybe a bit high. So I'm gonna lower it a little bit. And I'm gonna add an extra mountains up now. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay. And I'm gonna go with this time here with a low frequency. It's gonna give me some weird shapes, but that's okay. I don't really care about this. Okay. So let's have a quick look at the noise. So lower a little bit cell influence. I'm gonna keep this same. A little bit higher frequency. So that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna leave everything else as is. So same here, we keep the points. Play a bit around. So I'm gonna have to rename these. So that's going to be shockwave 1 BB1 shock wave 1, and I'm just gonna copy this here. Here we go. So just making sure everything is renamed as it's supposed to be. Okay, that seems good. So if now I dive here, yeah. So let's just update this. Shockwave, so that should be, yep, working. Collisions, shockwave emitter, that got updated properly. Yeah, why I didn't update for this, it's because I didn't didn't use, sorry, the emitter setup from the first simulation. Otherwise it would have updated those parameters as well. So that's my bad. So shock wave. So just making sure that that still returns some other values than 0. If it's 0, it means it wouldn't work, obviously. So I would be pointing to a non-existing node. there. Okay, so same here. What just happened? Shockwave. Okay, that's why. Shockwave. Okay. So this is all code. I should not have any references in there. I'm gonna come back later to it. Collisions, I'm keeping the ground as is. So that should be good. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna one thing I want to double check quickly before I come here. So it's my velocity because I didn't change this and I want it to be really fast at the beginning. So maximum value, I'm gonna put it to, hold on, let me just double check that quickly. So if I go to my detailed view, okay, and what I was doing, okay, my noise, I was fitting it between -1. So let's do this 10, see what kind of values I'm getting there. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to 15 maximum value. I'm just checking here my normal, so it goes around up to 10, 11, even 12, down to -10, -11, yeah, around -11 for the lowest value. So that should be okay. So yeah, that was a small thing I want to do double check quickly. So let's go back to DOPS and just look at a pyro solver. So I'm gonna leave this as it is, so that's okay. I'm gonna go straight to shapes. I'm gonna go with a little bit tiny bit higher dissipation. It's still a really low value, but I wanted to dissipate a little bit more than it did before. A lower disturbance value, so 0.2. Shredding I keep the same. Turbulence, I'm gonna add a lot of turbulences, so I'm gonna bring it up to 3. Confinement, I'm keeping it like this. So this, I leave it as is. Same here. Turbulences. So I'm gonna make the swirl size a little bit bigger, 0.07. Pulse length, I'm gonna lower it to 1.5. No, not 25, 5. That stays the same. That should be okay. Yeah, confinement. I'm gonna turn off control field. I don't want to use the density here for it. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna keep this as is. So volume, temperature, velocity. So I'm gonna animate the activation. I'm just gonna turn off here my simulation. So I'm gonna go to frame. I'm gonna animate for 17 frames, and then At frame 18, I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, deactivation on my emitter. Then scale source volume. Let me see what I had as curve here. So I'm just gonna time shift this for 1 frame. Okay, keep it 1 frame more. Now temperature, no, this one. So I'm gonna go move this for 2 frames. And finally, I'm gonna check, hold on, deck, scale velocity. And then I'm gonna first lower my first keyframe to a value of 1, okay? And I'm gonna move this a bit further, so first keyframe around 11 and last one around, and second one 17, okay? So that's being done. Advection, I'm going to, 1, and I'm actually going, because it's going to move fast, lower the advection multiplier here. And that. Okay, so that's fine. One thing I want to change here is on my shockwave for the sub steps. So I'm gonna copy actually my expression here. But instead of 1, I'm gonna double it because we have fast moving fluids. At recess, I'm to not having some weird results. I'm going to just double it, okay? So give it more time to kind of compute everything properly. So that's just a small trick, let's say it like this, when we are appraising some fast moving fluid simulations, okay? Just double whatever amount you have here. And one other thing I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to, I didn't have any issues here with my dust, or not that I saw, but I'm gonna copy this and apply it to the other ones here as well, just in case. There we go. So why is this warning cannot find? Oh, right. What did I do? Yeah, forgot to rename this shockwave. Shockwave. Okay. So I'm gonna go inside my pyro solver here and add the same node we always add here. So I'm gonna put a gas repeat. gas repeat solver, and 2 passes, and I'm gonna edit my gas resize fluid dynamics, and I'm gonna go inside my subsolver, and at the very top I'm gonna add a volume mix, and post multiply by 10, just 10, okay, just to make sure we're not cutting off too quickly of density. Okay, so that seems good, and just I'm gonna lower back the density here. I went back to my emitter to 1, okay. Yeah, so just here, okay. Do not have like too much density coming in, so that should be working. I'm just gonna again just triple check everything, because like here, yeah. So shockwave, I could have scripted this as well and just go through all my nodes and replace this by shockwave. But I don't think it's gonna be necessary anymore at that point. So this we don't have to, so that seems to be okay. Okay. Oh, and one thing I forgot to do in my upres solver, just adding my gas repeat here as well. My gas repeat solver with a minimum passes of 2. Okay. Because this will not work otherwise. And one thing actually I'm going to change now, and I will change it later for the other ones as well. I'm going to reference copy the last one. I don't know why that didn't happen when it created the network, but okay, so that's better. Like, so next time I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna have a reference copy and I don't have to edit in here anything. Okay, good. So yeah, I'm gonna run now the sim, and again, yeah, to do this I just have to prepare my nodes. So that's gonna be fire. Let's start to reorganize a little bit my nodes here. Okay. And that's gonna be shockwave 1. I leave this as dust, that's okay. fire. Oops. Dust. Shockwave. So this is working, so I'm gonna run it from here. I'm not gonna connect it to the merge right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna run this and see what it looks like. So I'm going to change a few things because it's going too much upward. It's going up, and I don't want it to go in that high. So things I'm going to change here. So I'm gonna go back to the emitter first. So I'm gonna turn off the curl noise on my fluid source for my velocity. Okay, and inside my VOPs up. So if I display my normals, okay, I don't want them to go that high. So I'm just gonna change a few things here. So I'm going just here to add a float to vector. And I'm just gonna change here to 1. Okay, so I'm actually, let me just promote this one. And I'm gonna call this multi Y. Oops, let's see. Y. Okay. And now, yeah, I can change here as well if I want it. So and one last thing, I'm going to change here. Yeah, maybe a little bit too crazy. Actually, let's change. That's actually not a big deal. I'm gonna change the setup in my VOPs up for this one. So for now, I'm just gonna disconnect this. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring a bounding box, then I'm gonna get the average value of it, maximum, minimum. Okay, I'm gonna now subtract this to the point position. There. Now I'm going to go here and use an add. I'm going for now just disconnect this and change. I'm gonna leave it like this for just for now. Add this together and just see what we get here in first place. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to my noise here. I'm gonna switch it to 3D noise. So now I see I already have less normals going inside, okay, than before, because they were pointing quite strongly through the inside, and now because I used the centroid position here and I subtracted it from the original position, I'm able to use this now to kind of point it mostly outward. And again, it's not going too crazy up. And I'm just gonna use, let me see, just if I go here with multiply and promote, multi, and I'm gonna put limit to 20, default value of 1. I'm gonna get rid of those. I'm going up, just click on force compile just to make sure everything works properly. Yeah, and now they're not going to go too high, okay, so that already less crazy than before. I think that should give us a better result in our sim. Just gonna check quickly here the values I get. Okay. I might still go there and use a float to vector. I'm going to expose this and bring this one in, and now promote and multi y, and I'm gonna go up to 10 here and default of 1. And like this, it gives me, okay, a bit of control about how it's gonna go upward. I'm gonna, yeah, leave it like this. That should be pretty good. Saving my file, and I'm gonna rerun now that sim. I'm going to look at a result. So I was still having the same sim, whatever I did. So I just noticed in my shockwave upres, I was still pointing to the wrong emitter. Okay. So I'm gonna update this. And this time it should work. Okay, so another thing I did really quickly on my emitter, on the transform scale Y, I just made it a little bit bigger. Okay, the uniform scale, I brought it up to 1.63, and yeah, hopefully this time I'm gonna get the result I was expecting to get. So everything else seems to be okay. So I'm gonna resim it one last time and see what I'm getting. So I figured out there was one more mistake here on my uppres node. I'm not looking here at the proper one either. So Yeah, a lot of places where I should have changed. Okay, I'm not at the first frame. I was still having the wrong result, so I'm gonna once again resim and see what the result is, and hopefully that's definitely the last one. So that was it. So now it's finally working. So maybe a little bit too much dust on one side, but again, you could imagine there's more dust on one side on the ground. So, but I would eventually, I think, or just copy that cache and move it around to have a bit more volumes coming on the other side. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. So before another explosion, yeah, we'll definitely resim this one.